Hello friends, welcome to ASP.NET tutorial. In this sub-series and in last couple of videos, we learned about label as well as literal control. Now we will slowly move into text box control and study what is AutoPostback. Text box controls allows user to feed in their text input. So literal and label control does not allow any user intervention, right? Whatever text we assigned, we did that at runtime. So user cannot interact with the label as well as literal control. But in text control, user can interact with it and they can feed in their text input. The server takes user typed text as input and do necessary processing. So necessary processing in the sense here the text will be submitted to the server and server knows what is the control name and what user typed in that control. Based on the user typed content, the server will take the necessary action. Textbox supports the below given properties. So one is autocomplete type, provides suggestion while user typing the letter. It takes instance of an autocomplete class, which is a data storage of suggestion. Say for example, here we are talking about a data store, right? A text box can be linked to a data store, and there, say for example, let's state that you are maintaining a list of country names. And text box is displayed to the user, right? Let's state that the user is typing IN. So when they type IN, it will display the option like Indonesia, India, etc. Whatever starts with IN. So from there, user can pick whatever entry they want. So we call this as a autocomplete, and autocomplete type provides a suggestion while user typing the letters. It takes instance of an autocomplete class, which is a data store of suggestion. So you have to make use of autocomplete class also for that. Then there is a property called AutoPostback. When this Boolean property is enabled and when enabled posts user typed data to the server. So this happens when user hits the enter or tab key, right? Let's state that you have a text box. You type something in it, ABC 1, 2, 3, and let's state that you hit enter button. So when AutoPostback is enabled and when you hit enter, the content here will be submitted to the server. So here we are talking about IIS server, right? It will be sent to the server, and in the server you can place your coding and the code will run. So that's what called here AutoPostback. Usually you will post your form field data by clicking a button, but by enabling the AutoPostback for specific control, you can post the content immediately. So immediately in the sense, of course, you will trigger that immediate action by means of hitting the keyboard key, keyboard enter key or keyboard tab key. Max length tells how many character user can type in it. Say for example, if you set max length as 20, the text box will not accept more than 20 characters. Enable and disable, so it's a Boolean value. Based on the Boolean value, the property is useful to enabling or disabling the text box control. So if you set enable property to true, the control will be enabled, so user can type in their data. Read only, when set to true, does not allow user to edit the content. So in disabled state, the control will be displayed in grayed color, but here it will look like a normal text box. But when a read only is set to true, user can see the content and they cannot type anything in it. Text mode. So there are multiple mode accepted here. This will be useful to create a multi-line text box also. Let's look at the modes. Single line displays a single line of input from user, as well as it takes input from the user. So that will be a single line of text. Say for example, if you want to take a person's username, a single line is enough. So you can provide a text box with a single line. User will type their username, say John B. That will be the user name, and one line is enough for that. So you can set text mode as single line. In that case, you can set text mode as password. So whenever user types something, the character will not be displayed. Instead, you will be seeing the dots. So that's the password mode, text mode password. You can set text mode as multi-line, allows text input in multiple lines. Suppose if you want to take user's command, they can type the text in multiple line, and at the end of each line they can hit enter to type the multi-line text. Right, hitting enter button forms a new line. That means your cursor goes to next line and you can start typing the content by hitting the enter. There's a method called focus. Focus method sets focus to the text box when called. You can make use of a specific text box and call its focus method so that the text box will get focused. And when user hits something in the keyboard, the keyboard input goes directly to the text box which is currently in focus. Text box will rise text changed event. The event fires on the server side. So text changed event will get fired whenever user modifies the content or types the content. Let's state that this text box is empty. User is typing the English letter A, right? So here the text box content is changed, so it will fire the event text changed. When user types B, again it fires stating text changed. User types C, text changed is fired. User hits the backspace and deletes character C, again text changed is fired. So the event tells that whenever the content in the text box changes, it will fire the event, and by providing a handler method on the server side, the server will handle the event. Remember, when you don't enable the AutoPostback, that time the handling will be delayed, and when you click the submit button, that time the action takes place on the server. But when you have AutoPostbacks, the AutoPostback enabled, the text change event will be fired immediately. Now let's go to the demo. Now let's create a new web form by opening the Solution Explorer. Right click here and choose add new item, web form, and we will name this web form as BC03, and we will name it as a text box. So now this will add the web form. We will bring the toolbox and we will unpin the output window so that we will get more room. Here, instead of pasting label control, we will directly start typing also. Normal text. So let's go with the default itself. Normal text. Hit enter button, and you can see we are still inside the div tag, and now we can place a text box control here. Right. So in the next line, we will state password text. Hit enter button and drag and drop the text box here. And in the third line, type multi-line text. Hit enter and place a text box here. Here we will increase the length of it because we are going to design it for a memo field, and click the save button. We will also place a label control. We can use label or literal. Let me place the label control here. Go to properties and change the font name as Arial narrow. Size, we will go with X large, and for color we will pick maroon kind of a color. We will name this as, now we will bring up the property window, pin it and unpin the toolbox because we are done with it. Right, now we will scroll up. Label is in selected state, and we will change the ID as LBL display so that in the form behind code we can access this control by providing LBL display dot, and it will display all the properties and methods. So LBL display, that's the ID we are giving here. So let's select the first text box and we will name it as txt, normal txt, normal text. And if you see, by default AutoPostback is set as fault, and when you read the description towards the bottom, automatically post back to the server after the text is modified. Right, so here we will set AutoPostback as true and click the save button. Here we will select this and change the name as txt password, and if you look at, there is a property called TextMode. Right, by default all the text boxes are in a single line, and if you look at here, there are a variety of text mode properties available. Right, to collect phone there is a special text box, to collect week there is a special text box, to collect number, email, there are a variety of text box. Here, I mean the text mode, here we are choosing text mode as password. Let's save this. And we will change this multiline text mode as multiline, and we will leave it as it is, or we can increase the height of this multiline text box. So here you can type multiline text. So let's save everything, build, rebuild solution, just to make sure there is no error. Alright, now we will go to code behind for our third web form. Right, in the page load we will set the focus to txt password. So by default the first text box will get the focus, but here if you see, when the form is opened, the the password text box got the focus, and you can see where the cursor is residing right now. Right. All right. Now we have two controls, right? One is this label, and this one is txt normal text. Let's handle the text changed event. For that, click on the events tab and double click here on this specific cell. So it will implement the text changed event for the specific control item. Here it is txt normal text. So here we are simply taking the text from the txt normal text, our text box. We are accessing the text property and assigning that to the label, and it happens at runtime. Let's see what happens. There is a event text changed. Now we will rebuild the solution, and let's go to debug, start without debugging. Now we will type example text here, some sample text, and if you see here text change event is happening. Since we have AutoPostback, the content will be posted back to the server when you hit enter or tab button. So this time I am hitting the enter button here, and you can see the content is posted to the server, and in the server it calls or it notes that text got changed. So here text got changed will not fire for each and every character, but when you hit the enter, the content will be posted to the ASP.NET application server. The password text, let's say here I'm typing ABC123. It will display the dots, and the typed in character will not be displayed in the text box. So if you want to see what you typed, just click on this I button, right? So you can see the content. And in multiline text box, you can type multiple line of text. Here if you see first line of text, I'm hitting enter and then typing second line of text, third line of text. Right. So that's all about the ASP.NET text box control. Thank you for watching. Bye.